Hello and welcome back to Factorio. We are in our beltless bot maze and we're going to start off with a bit of housekeeping. So the first thing I'd like to do is we are currently making the tier 2 solar panels and they've been made at quite a good rate. I'd like to start making the tier 3 ones. So let's find a bit of real estate. At some point I may need a dedicated area for making all these things, but right now we're just going to do it here. I don't think I really have a speed issue, not right now anyway. So we're still tiling the world with green solar panels, but I think what I'm going to do is start cutting back on that and begin to tile the world with the next tier up once we've got the first 50 or 100 of them built anyway. Why is this not getting done? Turn on my personal bots, because life is short. Okay. So, advanced elite. That's the one. Takes advanced solar panels and a bunch of other stuff. Let's look at what that's requesting. Okay, fair enough. It's requesting stuffs. They are being crafted. Good. And one day, so this is low on quite a few things. The steel is worrying. We obviously need to upgrade our steel production. So steel is currently using level 2 prop mods and level 2 furnaces. Can we improve that? I think the answer is yes, but I kind of don't want to at this moment because I want to do another project that involves these things. So there's my furnaces, there's my assembly machines. We'll get back to that. So at the moment we're just going to run on a steel deficit. Okay. So these are starting to craft. Although products finished 0. Right, so this is active when we have less than 100 of them. Good. Let's head over here because I think we're going to do a bit of a solar panel hopscotch. This is putting out the green components, which is fine, but what I would like to do is also put out the blue ones. So the old ones are getting recycled quite effectively, as you can see here. Alright, up we come. So where could we do this? We're starting to run a bit low on places, aren't we? Okay. There we go. And this is going to request blue panels. And we're going to make sure we only have one stack, just in case. And I am going to go to the map, and we are going to upgrade this first little block as a tester. So can I do this by just dragging over? Yes, I can. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay. So this would just be our little test. How are we doing on these? So I have 12. I think I need more. What I'm planning to do is upgrade a blue chip production cell. And for that, I need 16 tier 3 assemblers. Right, this is not running because it needs petroleum. So that's we're going to start having issues with petrol production, which we'll have to address also. It's just going to be a game of going around all the whack-a-moles, I think, and seeing what we can whack. Okay. In the meantime, let's turn my personal bots off. 13 of these. I think that's fine. I'm going to... let's have a look at the blue chip production cell again. How many furnaces does it use? Okay, so it's got 8 here. Oh, so that's the engines. Yeah, 8 here. And then these up here, I very much doubt those will need upgrading to tier 3. So I've got all the tier 3 furnaces that I require. So I can set this down to 8 for now. Okay, and then that... I had a damage icon for over here. No idea. Okay. Sorry, that really threw me. So that's oh, they got through the wall there. That's not good. Okay, so how could we're gonna have to improve this situation, aren't we? All right. So because monsters on the wrong side of the wall is not acceptable. It's not surprising, but it's definitely not acceptable. Okay, so let's take these. Okay. Let's take all of that, see if it tiles. Yes, it does. I'm just going laser-tastic. I can't get out to anywhere that has uranium, so uranium ammo is not an option. Okay, and we will see if that improves things. I don't know if we're getting damage elsewhere. Okay, back to this. So my personal roboports are off, so I can upgrade a couple of these builds. That's for tier 2 modules. Sorry, that's from a tier 2 to a tier 3 smelter. And this should upgrade the modules to tier 3 modules. And we will see if that is a noticeable improvement in the performance. It looks like modules were inserted by logistics bots rather than construction bots. There we are. Alright. So, with a tier 2 smelter and tier 2 production mods, this is producing 36 steel a minute. With the tier 3 smelter and modules, that becomes 60. So it's nearly a doubling. So, all other things being equal, I think upgrading these smelters is the way forward. So let's do those. We'll leave it at that for now. And how am I getting on with my request for... So I've got plenty of those. I only have 13 beaconed assembly machine 3s. Alright, let's see what the slowdown for that is. So, this is the beaconed assembly 3s. It's missing speed 3s. So let's go have a look at the speed build. This is the speed module build. Ah, this appears to have locked up somehow. So what's going on here? These are low on green circuits. Okay. We've got the whole of this green circuit build and of this one running. These are already the best machines that money can buy. Okay, and this isn't getting the iron ore that it needs. And we have plenty of iron coming in. So the issue... The issue must be just how many requests we can handle. So there's plenty of logistics bots. It must be that this just can't shift the material. So I need another pair of these, ideally. That would be an incremental improvement. There we are. Let's see if this... We'll see. At the end of the day, the amount of iron ore which can be shifted into this network is bottlenecked by these stack inserters. So by adding more boxes, I'm in effect adding more stack inserters. In fact, we can probably count this. So if I take the whole of this build, I'm aware it's not the full build, but so if I want to do this as stacks. Okay, so this requires over 7 stack inserters of iron plate. Right, and we did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stack inserters of ore. So that's what the problem was. We needed more stack inserters swinging to move more iron ore in. Okay. And that doesn't fit there. Okay, so we are kind of limited here. I think we've almost hit what we can achieve. That can go away, that can go away. I think that's the best I can do. Okay, and we'll see how well this does. That's yet another inserter. There we are. So there's possibly more green lights here, possibly more green circuits being made. I can't prop mod this, unfortunately, because you can't. This is already fully prop modded, level 3s. You can't prop mod this, unfortunately. I've upgraded one segment of this to the fully beacon versions, and I think just this little bit out produces the whole of the rest of the build. Right. Have we made even a single blue panel? Yes, we've made 6. Ah, let's have a look. So on our 10-minute power production chart, great, so we have a whole 7.6 megawatts being made by our elite solar panels. Not very much, but it will add up. Okay. How am I doing now for these machines? I'm getting impatient now. I have 15. Oh, I needed 16, didn't I? Okay, is there any way I can speed this process up? So this has 4. It requires 12. And this has 0. Okay, but it has some in here. So let's just do that. It's a bit rude. But it gets me up to the 16 that I think I need to have a go at this. Yeah, I think that's 16. All right, so we'll take a train over there, have a look. this temporary. Yes, I did set it up in between. I also did some train filtering. So I don't know if you remember, I was having all sorts of trouble with train carriages ending up with, for example, a single stack of rail in it. And it was driving me potty trying to figure out what it was. I did eventually work it out. So if we go to the rail build, which is here. Okay, what was happening was I had everything wired up correctly. I had all the filters set correctly. Everything was as it should be. What was happening was that a train was pulling in here to drop off ore. Only ore was being unloaded. And then, once there was space in the carriages, the rail which this had in its hand ready to drop off got dropped off. So what I've had to do is go around and filter a whole load of train carriages, which was annoying, but it's fixed the problem. But it does mean that these inserters here didn't need to be filtered in the first place. Anyway, learning experience. So these kind of complex setups work well-ish, but I keep finding all these little edge conditions where you have to deal with things manually. Right, this is our blue build. Now, I think this is just going to be an incremental fix. What we're going to do is upgrade this using our shiny machines. Okay, we're going to use our very best modules. Okay, then there's no way that these smelters can keep up, so we will get our very best smelters. And again, put our very shiniest modules into those. Good. So then, this now needs 2 stack inserters to move the coils. You can see this is backing up. So we'll just have to move the light. Okay, see if that helps. Good, so this is improved, I think. What are we waiting on here? It's definitely the red circuits. Sorry, green circuits. Okay. And this... Okay, so this is just not getting the smelting that it needs. Okay, so it's way down. We need 3 copper smelters to keep the coil machine running. So we're running this build at 1/3 speed. You can see we're just not stressing this half of the build at all. Right, so if this was running at full speed, items per minute, we would be producing 268 items a minute. We're running at about 1/3 speed, give or take. So that means we're 1/3 of this, 1/3 of 26 is ish 27, so that's 90. So we're running at roughly 90 blue circuits a minute. Okay, and this build here, if it were running, would be producing 90. So it's possible we've not sped anything up. Right, what is this waiting on? The build is waiting on iron ore. Okay. I mean, we certainly have not slowed it down. But it's possible we've not, in practice, sped it up very much, which would be a real shame. It would cause me to cry genuine tears of sorrow. So... So, I don't want to transport copper cable around, but it does look like to make this run at an acceptable speed, I need at least 3 copper smelters feeding the coil, and then I presume I'll need 3 for the green as well. So I need a dedicated green circuit build now, whereas before the ratios were close enough, now they are clearly not close enough. So I've got in my head how we could do this, but I think I'm going to head back to the main base to mock something up and collect some supplies, because we're going to need some machines to sketch it with. Let's go back to Gallifrey, and then we will have a look at how we could build a dedicated green circuit building module to counteract this issue with the smelting no longer being in close enough ratio to be able to just botch things. Dedicated green circuits is an interesting one. That may be something which then pushes through a whole load of other builds. Because there's quite a few builds where we are currently doing the green circuits as part of the build. But we'll have a look. We'll have a look. So I think for this I need 6 smelters. I'm requesting 8. And I need 2 assembly machines. I'm requesting 50. So we can just wait till I get... Well, let's ask for what I want. Good. Alright, so I want 6 of these, I think, and I want 2 of these. So we're pretty much... We're fine for the assemblers. Just waiting on the smelter. Right, all these have green lights now, which is definitely an improvement. This does not have green lights. It's down on green circuits. Yeah, I don't have a good solution for that. Let's head up here. This all looks very quiet, doesn't it? Right, I have 6 furnaces now. Alright, so let's walk down here where there's a bit more space. We will build something and see if it potentially would work. So my idea is, let's say you have some track. Okay, so this is going to be coils. This is going to be green circuits. So then I need at least 2 inserters. I may need 3 because they're swinging a long distance, which is not ideal as I understand it. Okay. We may as well do 3. Right. Then what if we had furnace, 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 furnace. Then you can put in a rail behind there and a rail behind there, and that's all got the right spacing. Alright, then it'll be a bit of spaghetti with the inserters. Let's get our modules. Good. Let's pick all this up. Move it over. I definitely don't want it getting powered up by that by accident. Awesome. Then we're going to put in some ore just to get this all sorted out. So I have a bit of copper ore. What's powering that up? That's very annoying. This substation is. Good, they're out of power now. That was annoying. Right. And what is the speed on this now? So let's have a look. We are 20% down on copper, 20% down on iron. So we would be, and we produce slightly less copper coil than we need. So 7% on that. Right, so we're 18 and a bit down on the smelting. Just over 7% down on the coils. So I think it's the coils which are going to be limiting. So we're going to be running the green circuit machine at slightly under 20%. So, sorry, slightly under 80% of capacity. Which means 1344. Okay, so you lose 247 output just from the plates being underproduced. That's just annoying. I can't work this calculator. Go away, silly calculator. Come back, sensible calculator. Right, I want to do 1344 times 1 minus 1.184. Did I? No, I can't do that either. Try that once more. Right, does that look right? That doesn't look anything like right. Oh, yeah, actually it does. So multiply that. So that's the copper plate under production. That's the copper coil under production. So rather than producing 1,344 plates, we would produce 1,018 plates. If we want to recover that missing production, well, we could only recover the... So that's our first number, 1,018. Okay. I'm just going to move this off screen for a moment so I don't lose it. Alright, So the next number we have would be 1344 times 1 minus 0.071. So that's 1248. Okay, so these are the numbers. Let's make it bigger. Okay, so the theoretical maximum we could produce is 1,344. If we smelted the plate off-site and then inserted the plate into the coil machine and into the circuit machine, we could produce, theoretically, 1,248 circuits. If we smelt locally with 3 smelters, we can produce 1,000 plates. And you can see we've got quite a big loss there. Okay. Okay, so it's a nearly 1/4 loss, 24% loss. And so that's a 24% loss on the theoretical maximum. What's the loss? Let's try that again, except let's do this against the... Let's compare the plate direct insert versus the training in the plates, off-site smelting. So... (1248) minus 1018 equals divided by 1248. Okay, so that's an 18 point something, nearly a 20% loss, which is the same number we have here, which makes me think it is correct. So we're losing 20% production. So there are different ways to go. I could do plate smelting in dedicated plate smelting sites. I could then use trains to bring that in, and all the places where I currently have green circuit direct insert builds, I could use trained in plates instead of trained in ore. And then we could run things at about a 20% loss. Okay. So we'd have a 20% loss here if we did that. But it would mean all of this was direct insert. And it's really... What I'm trying to do is keep as little material on trains as possible. Because I want as much of the pipeline as possible to be direct insert between machines. And maybe a 25% loss of production speed is fine, as long as it's all, as long as everything is a pipeline of direct insertion. If it means I avoid the train, if I avoid a plate train or I avoid a green circuit, I can't avoid a green circuit train, can I? But Alright, let's have a look at the relative count of the number of items. Alright, so what I want is for as many items a second as possible to be direct inserted. So if we look here, there are 2,800 coils, so they have to be direct inserted. There's 753 copper ore, same for iron ore. But there's 900 and something plate. So what I want is for the ore to be fed in off a train. I want the plates to be... the numbers get bigger and bigger, don't they? So I want the plates, if possible, to be... Actually, this is the opposite to what I expected. Okay. So I want the copper coil to be direct fed into the green circuits. However, I want the green circuits to be direct inserted into whatever they're going into. Because look at this. The total number of copper plates and iron plates. Let's add those together. Let's add those up. So, okay, so there's... No, this doesn't zoom, I'm afraid. So there's a total of 1,800-ish plates which are being moved. There's 1,300-ish green circuits being moved. So I want the plates to be direct inserted because numerically there are more of them. So the build which minimizes the arm swings, which maximizes direct insert, is this one, which is 20% underpowered. And then we can train our green circuits and we use those where they're needed in other builds. I think this is what compromises. So as we minimize the amount of arm swinging at the cost of a 25% underutilization of these beaconed machines. So that does beg the question, if these are 25% underutilized, can we go for a lower tier machine and in effect not affect our production? All right. So if this, instead of being a tier 3, was a tier 2. So we're going to downgrade from this to this. We'll keep the prod 3s because they're just good business. Okay. So as long as this production here stays above 1018, we have not lost anything. Okay, 840, which is below 1018. So the tier 3 machines do make a difference, surprisingly. How are we doing here? Yeah, so the tier 3 assembly machines do make a difference on this build. Which is useful to know, right? So let's upgrade this again. So that's going to be our build. That's going to be our green circuit build. Okay, so what I would like to do now is find a place in the world where we might want to do this and do it. It can be anywhere, right? Because it's a boring build. Let's at least do it somewhere a little bit out of the way. Well, it's going to be a major consumer of copper and iron. And this is where we park our empty copper trains. And this is where we park our full ones. Right, how are we doing for full iron? We don't have any full iron. Are we seriously using all of our iron trains? Yes, we are. Wow, that's time to scale up, I guess. So I'm going to copy this, put it there. For now, I'm going to collect this. Good. We have some overfly here, apparently. And then I think it's time that we export tier 3 assemblers and smelters out into the network. And I think it's beyond time that we stop exporting lower tiered things. So let's have a look. So this is not requesting anything. So this can request tier 3 electric furnaces. They're going to go there, 1 stack. And am I going to use tier 1 furnaces ever again? I am not sure. But that's not something I want to decide this second. We are never going to use steel furnaces. Okay, so this is going to request tier 3 assemblers. I can take those. I can take those. They can be trashed. So that's the assemblers. Then productivity modules. Are they being exported currently? I'm not sure that they are. Maybe I was putting all of those in by hand. Okay. I'm just looking for empty boxes, checking what they contain. Okay, so this, let's add it here, for want of a better place. Tier 3 prop mods. Good, that's going into this box here. So that's everything into the network. And where is it that we would like to build? So the ore, when there is some, goes in here. There's a nice big area here. Okay, so they made it through the wall. So let's take this. We are going to put this down on all of our walls now, because clearly we need to. All right, so we have an external wall here. Yep. The next external wall is here. Which seems to be alright currently. Okay. We have one here which is literally just blocks of lasers. And is that it? Yeah, that is it. Okay. So that will do for now. I suppose this is the next area to do some construction in, isn't it? So let's do it here, and we will rip up some shiny green solar panels in the process. But who's to judge? Alright, let's deconstruct. So this is our deconstruction planner for solar. And we'll take out this initially. There we go. And we will drive our train to there. And I should be able to park on that corner, all other things being equal. The rail network is behaving much better now, so I'm pleased with that. Right, I see a train here that has 800 furnaces in it. I don't know if that's an unbalanced build. That would have been up here. Okay, this has no rail. Okay, this is not producing... Okay, this needs fixing, doesn't it? Not quite sure what's... Oh, it's that this contains rail. Okay. Cut and paste that, that'll fix the problem. Right, so we're parked in here. We should... Is this the wrong place? Have I parked myself in the wrong bit of... Yeah, I have. Alright, let's try again. Try again. Good. All right. So I have some blueprints. Let's get our book. Right, this is as close as I could build. I don't want to build that close, so we will build to here. Okay. We have to assume that I have the materials. Then this is our blueprint. Yeah, it's all going to fit, isn't it? So we could bring in copper here or copper the other side. It doesn't really matter. So 1. Let's delete the rail bit because that's causing trouble. 2, 3, 4. Okay, then I'll need a rail segment here. Good, and I'll need one here. And I still don't know if this is going to be quick enough to move the coils, but we can find out, can't we? All right, so let's wire all this up. So I don't need anything clever here because we are managing request to stops with single items, single types of item. I'm going to do everything here that I can with blueprints. Okay. Then we have the corresponding situation here. Good, so that's the copper. This is iron, this is copper. Then we need to push the material through. Let's do this one first. So, into that, then this, we're going to have 3 inserters going into the green, and not a lot of room to do it. Okay, so this will pick up from here. This will pick up from here. Whoops. Try that again. Yep, that's correct. I've left a bit of a gap here just because it's easier to see. I don't know if it's the right way to do it. All right, so then we need, this is probably not perfectly positioned. All right, so that's going to pick up from behind and put to the side. Yep. Right, so then this one will pick and drop. This one will pick and drop. I think that works. Then we need to power it. And let's light it up. Not with a train requester, with a light. Okay. I'd kind of like a light over this side, but it's not make or break. Let's put these down, check that they all connect up. Good. And I'm just going to put this up to get rid of flashing. That's it. All right, so then we need essentially the same arrangement here, don't we? So this can be copied over. Good. Then that seems like a good place for the... that's where I want to drop, isn't it? Yep. Right, then we have 3 of those. Looks like I do need this extra. Okay, and there's nowhere to put a light, so we'll put one here. Okay, and then there's probably issues with loading the train, so we'll do that. That goes across, that's there, and then this one is the round the corner one. I think that's all right. I think, yeah, that's all fine, I think. All right, so let's take that 1, 2, 3, 4. I know this whole thing could have been blueprinted down just the once, but I'm going to continue to blueprint it down revision by revision until we get something I'm happy with. All right, so then the next thing is the green circuits. So it is quick enough to get them out with a single inserter. Right, then can I move this? Yes, I can. And I think I can load the train with 3 inserters. Okay, so that will reduce the time the train spends filling. I think that's what I want. So let's grab... Okay, so these need to go. Good. When you're doing this kind of thing, it's really important to just click rather than to force click. All right. This looks like it's going to be our green circuit build. As I say, it's going to run about 20% under, but there's no way really to get a 4th smelter in. And the smelters, one smelter costs quite a lot, you know, in terms of modules and beacons. And it probably is not worth it for the small increase I would get on the efficiency of the 2 assembly machines. So 2 smelters is probably not worth 20% of the fully beaconed and moduled assembly machine. And I don't see how I can get... I could get another pair of smelters in if I really wanted, but it would complicate the build, and I would lose... I'd probably lose too much space to be able to fit it in between the tracks, which is one of my design requirements. All right, so we can put down some smarts. Good. Decider. I still can't find them. The only way I can find them is by looking on my quick bar. These are going to need power, but I would prefer it not to obscure the circuitry. Okay, that's the best I can do, I think. Can I take that down one? Yeah. Being able to read the thing is most important. Is there another way to do this where it'll work if I flip the build? Which sounds like it ought to be an obscene thing, right? There we go. Alright, so that does work. I can't move it any further. Maybe I should be using substations for all these builds, but I've got a feeling that... Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have the space consistently. Maybe I would. Maybe I would. There and there. That would cover the whole thing, wouldn't it? So 4 substations would cover the whole... Not very well. Okay, leave that for another day. Okay, next bit of the smarts is we need to actually wire it. So this box to here, 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 here. Okay, this bit I can copy paste, and this bit will need to be done by hand. Good. All right. Go to the map. We should have a copper that I can just copy. Okay, we'll copper down here. Good, and I'll set the schema in a minute. Let's copy that, paste that down, and obviously I want iron instead of copper. Good. Then this one here is green circuit, so let's copy these. Now, this is going to read the green circuits. They stack in 200s, and I can call in a train as soon as I have one wagon's worth. So that's going to be 4,000. Oh no, it's got 4 rows of 210, so 8,000. When you're greater than equal to 8,000, you can call in a train. All right, so I kind of want to get this built before I actually set schedules. This side is built. Yep, so I can set this schedule. So this will be a train full of ore. And there is one incoming. Awesome. Hopefully, because this is a more efficient build with tier 3 modules, this will decrease our overall iron consumption. I mean, until we put down a load of these and really scale up, but it should help. Right, where are these? Let's check nothing's gone wrong back at home. Okay, this is all quite frenetic, isn't it? Right. Furnace is here. So this is waiting on the tier 3 modules, I think. Okay, and the tier 3 modules are being built as fast as they can be. And where are they going once they are built? We'll see. One went in there, it just got taken away before I could even blink. So presumably it's going into these machines up here at the moment. I'd love to just copy paste down a second copy of this, but there's no way that we can support it. Okay. What I'm relying on really is for one of these two builds to have backed up, and it looks like this nearly has. Because I think I can run the speed module build, or I can run the production module build, but I can't run both. Alright, so are we any closer? That has 10, it's going from 0 to 10. We're getting there. We still need 3 more of these before we can get going. Right, I can set up the schedule here. So this will be priority schema, green circuits. Now, I've got a choice at this point. Do I use the same schedules? Which means that I don't distinguish between fully beacon builds and not. Oh, that's 18 things being destroyed. What's going on there? Wow, that's some attack. Let's see how it actually... So that was killed off easily. These seem relatively placid, so I don't think the attack's coming from here. Okay, so I think the attacks must be coming from further out the maze. It may be time to go out and bring some peace and prosperity to this area. Okay, down to 2 of these. Sorry, this is a bit like watching paint dry, but it's just the reality of trying to build with limited resources. In the meantime, we were umming and ahhing. Alright, so the schedule is obviously green circuits. Now, what I have been doing for things so far is just using the assembly machine 3 symbol. And I was umming and ahhing about switching over to the beaconed one to flag that this is a beaconed build so that I could potentially keep trains distinct, but I don't think it's worth it. All right, so there we are. That is the green circuit schedule. We will then need some green circuit trains. Do we have any spare parking? We're going to need more than one green circuit train. And I'm starting to think we should move the full ore trains out from in here. I don't think it's serving us well having those in the center. So these are the empty ore trains. That's fine. So where could we put full ore trains where they would be ready and waiting to get into the main base? Right, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roboport to Roboport. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this would be the ideal place to put the ore stack. If we did that, it's obviously the wrong place to put the... Okay. Alternatively, we could put the ore stack trains in here. Now, it would mean we'd cut off this coal. But to be honest, that is not the end of the world, is it? It's not coal we're going to be accessing anytime soon. Okay, so if I took something which was effectively this. Okay. And we fitted it in basically here. Okay, so we would lose this junction entirely. Does that matter? I don't think it does. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to stick our... Okay, so is there another route through? Doesn't really matter. I don't care. So let's deconstruct all this solar. There we go. Then we are going to deconstruct this junction. And hopefully trains won't get stuck. It's going to be interesting to see. I am kind of relying on this all just working. There is an alternate way for the trains to get through, which is to go up and over the top. And it's not ideal, but it would do the job. Okay. So I need a piece of track removed by something to break the path. And I think I want all of this track gone also. This is quite exciting. All right, so that's no path now. All right. And there's a train stuck behind it, but never mind. All right, so this is the big blueprint we made. Let's get it the right way around. I want it to go this way. That's correct, that end. And this end, it's incorrect. All right, So how can I address that? Okay, I think by pasting it down in sections. So this bit here seems uncontroversial. So let's get down to this point. Good. So this can go down, I believe. And to do that, I need to remove rail signals. Not a problem. I almost certainly need to remove rail signals here as well. All right. And the robot port in the way is this one up top. I'm not worried about that. Okay. So then we need to finagle this bit here, which doesn't quite fit this. Okay, so let's take a bit of it. Should really be doing this in person, but no, actually I do want that to be, I want that gone. There. Actually, what do I want on this corner? So let's see if I've got a blueprint of a corner. So that is an incorrectly signaled corner. All right, so let's get rid of all the signaling here. This is all disaster signaling. This is a correct corner. So let's take that. Okay, so this should be here and here. There we go. Do we have a correct junction corner? Yes, we do. There. And normally that would... Okay. Yeah, so this needs to be a full signal. And then this needs to be a chain signal. And I need a chain signal coming in. So there's a full... Let's see. I think this is how I want to signal it. Okay, and then we have... Ah, this isn't quite lined up, is it? Okay. There. That will do. And then the same signaling we had before. All right, we need a signal around here a full signal. I think that's now correct, except all these station names need changing. Good. And then we can rename these. Then this can become full iron. And these. Great, so I will believe this is working when we see a train parked here. This is a bit of the old legacy from when we had a junction. Anything else? No, that all looks good. This needs to be a... Have we got our ins and outs mixed up? Yes, we have. All right. So I am an idiot. That can go. This segment here can go. That back. Okay. So this is what I'm targeting. And how on earth do I get this to there? Okay, that's probably the best I can do. Except this definitely needs to be a chain signal because I need it to choose where to park. Okay. So it's not ideal because trains will spend a little bit of time in here blocking this corner, but it's probably the best we can do given the situation. All right, let's see if that works. So, do we have this built? Yes, we do. I can set this schedule then. So this is going to be or. Oh, no, that's very bad. Okay, get rid of all those inserters. I don't want this train unloading. I should have called in a copper train and I called in an iron train. Never mind. Right. Have we managed to build our stacker yet? Yes. So we still need this signal. And I want a signal there. Am I missing one here? No, I just missed it in the cut and paste, I think. Oh! No way. We have trains in the stacker. Oh, I'm so pleased. That is just so cool. All right. So, I'm pretty much under constant attack now. My green circuit build is built. All right. dealt with the errant iron train. Good. So now the copper train comes in. One day. Oh, that's coming. Is that coming from our new stacker? No, that's coming from the old stacker. It might be just because of where this is located that trains prefer to stack here than stacking in the main base. We will see. But I think I can now retire some of these, and I can turn some of them into green circuit trains. Okay, so what I would like to do then is rename some of these while I can. Green circuits, they're going to be sort of first in, first out, aren't they? So this is full copper. Let's rename this full empty electronic circuit. Let's have 2 of those. I've got a feeling we'll need a lot more than 2 trains, but we'll work up to that. All right, let's copy that. Train, no entities. It would be nice if there was an option to copy or not copy schedules. Okay. Put those 2 trains down, they will get built. And this is working. Okay, so the issue here is these swings don't swing fast enough. Can we improve it? So we could improve it by moving the build closer, but it would have to move 2 tiles. So this is massively underproducing because these just are not moving across. And that does not reach far enough, so we can't put in a 4th inserter. So this whole build doesn't work. Okay. Also, we have issues where this okay, so that's not going to have been helping. Let's see if this fixes the problem. Okay, so this is still backing up on copper coil. It's better. Alright, so I'm going to have a think about whether we can improve this build. It's already at 2.7k, so we're already halfway through filling this. This is not too shabby. Right. I made some trains. So this is to go to empty green circuit, circuit condition, then to full green circuit. Try again. circuit condition. And I can copy paste that. Yep. Then we can set up a priority. Okay. So I'm going to set up a priority schedule thing. Here we are. That's better. Green circuit assembly. Call it in from empty green circuits. Then edit this. I want the train to be full. Good. Green circuit cargo. Full green circuits. Save. Okay, so now that's done. I can send that to empty. I can send that to empty. All right. And how are we doing? So it's producing them at a good rate, as you can see. So the temptation now is to redesign blue chips to use this, and then potentially to redesign red chips, or redesign the things that consume red chips, one or the other. Let's have a look again at our parking situation. So we've got quite a bit of parking here now. These trains seem to still be here. Okay. I kind of like to blueprint down some more green circuit trains. I think I'm going to need more than 2 of them. But I'd like these out of the way first. So if I send these off to empty, it's rude, but they will get sent back around. All right, so 2 more of those. Let's do 6. I think 6 is a good number, isn't it? In fact, 7, because that's 1 full bank. Alright, so let's take this, hold down shift. I want the trains, not the entities. So that's a full set of 7 green circuit trains. They will get placed down in good time. I think I'm going to leave the episode there because I'm an hour and a half in. We have built the green circuit build I wanted to build, although I haven't named the stations yet. And we have built our new ore stacker, which appears to be working. And it's offloaded probably half of our train traffic from the central hub. So that has to be a good thing. I don't mind most of these intermediates being in the central area because they're quite low volume. And as time goes on, we'll remodel the rail network to better follow the topology of the map, so that science things are made closer to those sciences. But in the meantime, I think that's okay. I'm going to leave it here. Thanks very much for watching. Please stay home, stay safe if you can. Don't get yourself caught up in mindless or well-meaning violence, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.